I'm investing to win. I need my dividends. Yeah, your money blowing in the wind. Mine's in the market. Yeah.
Yo, what up, man? So, people always ask me about like how I find stocks or how I decide which ones I want to invest in. And starting out, the easiest thing that I could suggest would be to follow your own money. Like, look at your own patterns, what you're already doing, because there's a company out there that you're already supporting. And so if you're already on the consumer side of the dollar, you might as well be on the owner investor side of the dollar as well. I was inspired to shoot this video because of a piece of mail that I got today. And the mail, it's a sale. It's from ShopRite. It's for a grocery store. This is just like literally it's a flyer that came in the mail. But the reason that it stood out to me and made me make this video is what it actually shows. And it's this. You know, I've talked about aristocrat stocks before and why they're important to have in your portfolio and so on and so forth, right? One of them is Procter & Gamble. Now, I didn't actually specifically mention them in my top 5, but they're still an aristocrat stock. So, I said all that to say, I'm going to show you this. I hope you can see this. Do you see all those brands? I'm gonna read some off to you because you probably purchased from one of these brands. We've got Puffs Tissue, Oil of Olay, Old Spice, Bounce, Cascade, Charmin, Tampax, Swiffer, Secret, Tide, Pepto-Bismol, Crest, Dawn, Loves, Head and Shoulders, Herbal Essences, Ivory, Vicks. Have you purchased any products from any of those companies before? Because if you have, you've been supporting P&G, Procter & Gamble. So, what does all that mean? That means if you take my advice, which is follow your money, ask yourself who owns the products that you use the most frequently. It will lead you to a bigger company. So, if, for example, I'm gonna use Old Spice. I use Old Spice deodorant. So, if I wanted to say to myself, man, I spend a lot of money on Old Spice. Who owns Old Spice? Google it, just like you can Google anything else. The next question is, okay, whoever the owner is, for whatever the product may be, once you ask yourself that question and you find out who owns the product, are they publicly traded? That's the next question. If they are, what's the ticker symbol? Find that ticker symbol and put your money in. Hey guys, I'm not a financial advisor. There is some additional research you should do, but in general, if it's a company that you spend your money with all the time and you love them, why not invest? Because you're already putting money into that business. You're just putting it in on the consumer side of the fence. I like to call it attachment. I don't know if there's an actual term for it, but basically, when I say that, I mean like Amazon. I order stuff from them all the time. So one day I was reading the box, like the actual box, because I took my own advice. I said, hey, who makes these boxes? Because Amazon buys a lot of them. Then I found out International Paper makes the boxes. So then when I went to Google International Paper, I was like, wow, they're attached to some pretty big companies other than Amazon, and they're solid. But I would have never found them without thinking about that. That is still research. It doesn't always have to be, you know, you going through a ton of bars and charts and looking at indicators and doing all these crazy math equations and stuff. It can be that, but it doesn't have to be that all the time. And to start out, that's all it needs to be. Very, very surface level, very simple, common sense. What do I use all the time? What stores do I support all the time? What do I eat all the time? Drink all the time? Just ask yourself that question. Write down all the answers. And then if you don't know who owns these different products, ask yourself that question. Google it, write down the answers. And then find out if these companies are publicly traded. If they are, check them out. And you might be surprised. A lot of companies pay dividends, even though they're not aristocrats. So you could be missing out. And why? Think about it like you're getting a little bit of your money back when you know, because you already you in the hole. You've been spending money with them. So why not get a share? It's like mind-boggling to me when somebody will wait in a line for a half a day and pay $400 or $500 for some Jordans, but then if I tell them they should buy these Nike stocks for $140, you look at me like I'm crazy. How does that make sense? How? Anyway, if you want to find some companies to research, do that. Just start there. Ask yourself what you do. Where do you already spend your money? That's it, man. I'm done with my little rant. Like this video, comment, and subscribe. Or I ain't making no more. Nah, I'm lying. I'm gonna make more regardless, but I would still really appreciate it if you like my joint. I'ma holla at y'all, man. Peace.